Some other questions. Have you recently put money into the bank, taken money out of the bank? And please remember, because I get this question very often, quite often you will see put money in the bank, take money out the bank. Yeah, loads of times you'll see that. And yes, that's what natives do. They very often drop the to and the of, but they are there usually in formal academic writing. But in speech, you very often hear people miss them out and say, put money in the bank, take money out the bank. Just like get in the car, get out the car. Get into the car, get out of the car. That's always the case with that into and out of. Very often we drop the to and the of. But yeah, you put money in the bank, take money out of the bank. Yeah. So have you recently taken money out of your account? Have you recently taken money out of your account? And you can say, have you recently withdrawn money from your account? That's more formal. Usually phrasal verbs are less formal but more common, and these kind of words are more formal but less common. Yeah, but certainly you do see it a lot with banks, withdraw from your account, and so it's a good word. So deposit means put in, withdraw means take out. Yeah, so deposited money in your account. Do pay attention to the prepositions. Withdraw money from your account. Okay, do you usually pay by cash or by credit card? How do you prefer to pay? There are a lot of people talking about a cashless society. Do you think that cash will disappear in the future? What do you think? Do you think we will be using credit cards in the future? Do you think we'll be using Bitcoin in the future? What do you think? So tell me, has your salary increased over the last few years? I certainly hope so, because I know that things are getting more and more expensive. We call this inflation, yeah, price inflation, when prices are going up, and they certainly are. So please remember that you pay somebody, yeah, I paid him £100, but you pay for something. So I paid him £100 for, I don't know, a new computer. Yeah, pay for a new computer, pay for a car, but pay the man who works in the shop, yeah, in the car dealership for the car. Okay, and yeah, it's always on with spend and with waste. Spend money on, spend £50 on something, waste £100 on something. Okay, have you recently lent money to somebody who didn't pay you back? So lend money to is like give money to. Borrow money from is like take money from. So, but lend and borrow, when you do it, you promise to give it back. So when you borrow a book from the library, you're not taking it forever. You borrow it and you're going to give it back later. So have you recently lent money to somebody who was unreliable and who didn't pay you back? Yeah, it happens to all of us sometimes, sadly. Maybe you have borrowed money from somebody and you haven't paid it back. Yeah, tell me if you've done this recently. Have you ever had to pay a fine? Yeah, have you ever had to pay a fine? So this is a financial penalty. Usually you might get a fine perhaps for speeding on the road, something like that. You might have to pay a speeding fine, but you might get a parking fine. Maybe you park in an illegal place and then you get a fine. So have you ever had to pay a fine? Have you ever taken out a loan, or have you ever taken out a mortgage? And by the way, you have a loan, you have a mortgage, just like you have debts. Yeah, a loan is a debt, a mortgage is a debt. A loan is when the bank gives you money, yeah, credit, they give you money, and you borrow money. You must pay that loan back. Yeah, and that's any type of credit which you get a loan. A mortgage is a loan for a house. It's still a loan, it's still credit, but it's much, much more than other loans. It's usually the biggest loan you'll ever take out, yeah, the mortgage. And so have you ever taken out a mortgage? I think most people here have a mortgage who are homeowners, certainly. They have a mortgage. There's no other way they can afford, yeah, can afford. Remember, that means that you have enough money to buy something. There's no other way that they can afford a house. And so everybody takes out a mortgage. They don't have £350,000 or whatever to just buy a house. So they take out a mortgage. So if you do have a mortgage, tell me, or a loan, I had a student loan. In fact, I have had a student loan. I'll tell you this is funny. I have had a student loan for about 23 years. There you go. So, and I still have that debt. I am still paying it off.